Mr. Chalmers, your budget focuses on housing supply but ignores demand conditions. The buying power of working individuals, young families, single parents and pensioners is being suffocated by that of wealthy property investors incentivised by negative gearing and capital gains tax concessions. How can the Labor Party claim to represent the working class while maintaining policies that undermine their access to affordable housing?
So, Treasurer, really a similar kind of question, really. So there's a bit of a theme. Obviously, there is a real push from young people for some of these changes.
Yeah, it's a very similar question, and my answer is a very similar answer. The only thing that I would add to that is when you talk about adding to demand or demand management in the housing market, we've talked about supply. There are issues around demand as well. You know, one of the maddest things that you could do is let people access their super for housing, because that would mean 2 or 3 more people, you know, at every auction. And so we are attentive to the demand side as well. We're not attracted to some of the changes that you're proposing and Jessica was proposing in her question a moment ago. But I don't accept, not for 1 second, that there is a lack of commitment or enthusiasm for improving the housing market for everyone, but especially for young people. The only thing that will simultaneously address the issues with renters and the issues with buyers is we need more homes. Vacancy rates are far too low and rents are far too high and prices are out of reach for too many people. And we've got an issue with homelessness. The only thing that will solve all of those things is to build much more housing, and that's what the budget was about.
So, Rafe, that's the government's answer. They want to supply, 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 right? And they say, of course, that will help because there won't be as much competition for houses. Does that satisfy you that that will provide a solution?
No, absolutely not. That's a deeply unsatisfying answer. To say the very least, the simple fact of the matter is adding to supply is fantastic, and there's no doubt to be made that we don't need that supply. We absolutely do. But what restrictions is your government going to put into place from stopping arguably greedy property investors from capitalising on this additional supply to further push down the working man from attaining a home?
Hey, Rafe, or the working woman. There's many of them here. Treasurer, many working women in your electorate as well.
Yeah, we want to build more homes for them.
You're not about to announce changes to negative gearing, but do you feel like there is, be honest with me, in the community, more of a push for this from young people at the moment?
I think there is certainly a push, and Rafe's question and Jessica's question reflects that. And all of us who move around this community and the communities of South East Queensland know that there is a level of frustration when it comes to finding homes. And, you know, at the risk of repeating myself again, the only way to fix that is to build many, many more homes. And that's our intention.
Okay, back to our poll now. We asked Australians if they could identify anything in the budget that would make them financially better off. Almost half of those polled could not, and a number even higher among young voters of those who couldn't. For those that could, most could name the $300 power bill rebate as a budget benefit ahead of tax cuts. Jim Chalmers, after a week of selling your budget, does that surprise you? Obviously, the $300 rebate has really resonated.
Yeah, I'm a bit more glass half full than you, Patricia. I see that as 50% of people do know that there's something in the budget that, that will help them. And that's because the budget was overwhelmingly designed to ease the cost of living pressures that people are feeling in our communities, our community here, but communities right around Australia. And so there is a tax cut for every taxpayer. There is energy bill relief for every household, but there's also increased rent assistance, there's cheaper medicines. There are a whole range of measures and initiatives in the budget to try and take some of the sting out of these cost of living pressures that people are feeling.